So, Kim Davis is back in the news again. She's the Kentucky clerk who refused to issue same-sex couples a marriage license, and so she was put in jail for contempt of court, and the judge told her, as soon as you start doing what you were elected to do, then you will be released. She sat there for 6 days pretending to be some martyr. And when she got out, she came up with the idea of removing her name from the licenses, as well as, I believe it's the county that they're issued from. And so now she is her attorney has filed a lawsuit against the governor of Kentucky, because originally there was some question as to whether or not these licenses were valid, since I guess Kentucky law states that each license has to be signed by a clerk, which is an elected official. By removing that, you're pretty much removing the authority of the document. So now her attorney has filed a lawsuit against the governor, saying that there was this reasonable accommodation that was available to her, since the governor is now stating that pretty much that these licenses will be valid. Kind of pisses Kim Davis off, I think. So she's filed a lawsuit, and they're saying that it's because she was in jail for 6 months. Her rights were violated. So yeah, her rights were violated. She was put in jail for 6 days. And they're saying that she didn't have to spend any time at all in jail had the governor came to her and said, you know what, you just go ahead and remove your name, it'll be fine, and then that would have been that. But Kim Davis thought of this solution on her own. It could have taken her an hour sitting in jail to think of it, or 6 days. Basically, she created this shitstorm herself. She brought this on herself. She's a complete... Yeah, she's a lot of things. She's not a nice person. So, basically, like I've said before, when it comes to marriage, you don't need a church to get married. You only need a judge or a clerk, some official. A divorce is basically a legal contract that grants the two parties state and federal benefits, protections, rights. It's a pretty powerful document, and it's a document that can only be dissolved through a court order. Has nothing to do with church, has nothing at all to do with religion. So, by saying to one group, you know what, you can get married, you can have these rights, these protections, these rights to inheritance, hospital visitations, you can have all these things, and then to say to another group, no, you can't because it conflicts with our religion. But religion has nothing to do with marriage. Now, don't mistake what I'm saying. If you want your marriage to have a religious association, then you go to your church where your family, your friends, your peers, your pastor will perform a ceremony. It becomes sacrilegious. And then you take your marriage certificate and you file it just like everybody else to get those benefits for the state and federal to make it legal. If they wanted it strictly to be a religious ceremony, then they should have left it like a baptism, where you go in with your family and friends, and you have your ceremony before the pastor or your priest, and then that's it. You've done something that was strictly religious in nature. You can't have it both ways. So this is a very slippery slope that she's on. there's no way she's going to win. Absolutely not, because it conflicts with federal law. So any of her job description that is on a state level, if any of that is in conflict with federal law, the federal law is going to triumph. I mean, that's just the way it is. So, yeah, and also, there's no way that the courts are going to be able to give her any kind of leeway, because then that opens the floodgates for everybody else to say, oh, you know what, this violates this belief or that belief. You know what? The Constitution and the Bill of Rights is written for all Americans, not just Christians, not just straight people. It's there to protect it's there to protect people from people like her, from bigots, from racists, from people that from people who do put other people in a second-class citizen position. And that's exactly what Kim Davis does. She has the option of also stepping down from her elected post. So, I kind of don't see her as doing that. I don't see her as stepping down. Her legal fees are free. A lot of Christian groups are stepping in to support her. No surprise there, but you know what? That's their right. But at the same time, they're going to have to start practicing what they're preaching and understanding that there is a separation of church and state. You can't take your religion, your faith, your beliefs, and force those beliefs onto other people and require them, a stranger, to live their life according to your standards, your faith, what your religion mandates of you as a person of faith. You can't go around and say, oh, no, you can't do that. No. Because my religion says you can't. Okay. There's a lot of different religions out there. Your religion is not more important or superior or law of the land over everybody else. This topic is just exhausting. There will always be stupid people in the world. That's all I can say.